definitely more advanced. All right, you see a lot of box players utilizing it, not nearly as many field players. All right, and that's because their hands have developed much quicker than ours, who come from the field game because they've had to, with that, you know, that those in tight quarters and having to utilize their hands. But the first principle behind this really is one of the most basic principles, and that's getting your hands away from your body. All right, shooting like this can be good when you're in tight, if you need to have your hands in tight, right, to protect it or whatever the case may be. But really, for the most part, anytime you're outside, I say 5 or 6 yards, you really want to have those hands out when you're shooting. I would even argue have them out when you're inside as well, but that's another topic. All right, if you have your hands away from your body, this allows you to utilize those hands in any way you want. When they're in tight, it's hard to do something like a twister, right? Because they're in here and you're going to have to move your body all around. You want your delivery of your shot to look the same, but you want the hands to do the magic. The hands are what create, you know, the magic when you're shooting. You look at a Gary Gait or a John Grant or whatever the case is, their body position actually looks very similar every time they shoot. The difference between players like this is what they do with their hands, all right? So always have your hands away from your body. Not locked out, because then you can't snap them, but you want to around a 90-degree angle, all right? So when we think about the twister shot, you got to think about what you're trying to do. A twister shot is designed to move a goalie, all right? I don't think you're actually curving the ball, but at the same time, you're making, you know, you're creating the illusion that you're curving the ball, all right? So when we come through, hands are going to be out. You want that stick head motion to come in and then out through that shot. Now, how do we accomplish that while maintaining the correct position when we're shooting, all right? Well, the exact same way we take any type of shot, starting with our feet, hip width apart, all right? And that allows us to step forward without falling back out of our shot. We don't want to be stopping our body as we're going forward. So make sure we're pulling into the ground with that front foot and pulling forward, even as we're attempting to do a twister shot. All right, hands are going to be out. All right, we're going to step in a little giddy up into it, little cradle, and then we come through, hands come in and then out. So the best way I like to think about this is starting halves. All right, so step 1, you go here. Step 2, we go here. All right, so it's just, you kind of get that rigidity down. You know, be robotic at the beginning when you're trying to learn it. So step 1, here. Step 2, here. All right, and make sure you get that swooping motion away from your body. All right, we're going to step in now with a ball. All right, I'm going to do it without a giddy up just to start, just to get the motion down. Hands are going to be back. Step 1, step 2. All right, I have an idea of what I'm trying to do now. All right, I got that ball to move to the right. Moving the goalie to the left with the first motion, moving the ball to the right with the second. Step 1, step 2. Good, all right. So we kind of got it down. So now when we speed it up, we have to put those two together, make it nice and smooth. A little giddy up here, boom, all right. Step in, a little giddy up, a little better there, all right. I'm starting to get that motion down. Now it's a small change. You don't always see it entirely, but you know the goalie's watching the head of your stick. So that's the first thing you want to focus on. Step in, boom, all right, not bad. Myself a little pass here, step in, boom, miss. Myself a little toss again. Boom. All right. All right. So take a step in. Boom. Not bad. Leaning that body to the left as well, which can be pretty cool. Just get creative with it. Boom. All right. Last one. All right. So that was the twister shot. Right, remember, we're making that head travel in a funky way through the air, all right, but we want to keep it consistent every time. All the way through, hands stay away from the body. That allows you to bring it up and in, and then all the way through as you're following through. Hope this helps.